In the dark alleys of New York City, a man ruled with an iron fist. He was known as the Teflon Don, and his name struck fear into the hearts of both friend and foe alike. His flamboyant style, his love of the spotlight, and his ruthless tactics made him a legend in the world of organized crime. But who was John Gotti? What drove him to become one of the most infamous mob bosses in American history? In this video, we will delve deep into the life of this enigmatic figure, uncovering the secrets and mysteries that shrouded his rise to power, his reign of terror, and his ultimate downfall. Get ready to enter a world of intrigue, danger, and deception as we explore the untold story of John Gotti. Number 1. John Gotti, the Teflon Don, was a notorious American mobster born in the South Bronx in 1940. In these gritty streets of the South Bronx, a young boy was born on October 27, 1940, who would grow up to become one of the most notorious mobsters in American history. His name was John Gotti, but he would later be known as the Teflon Don for his uncanny ability to evade conviction and walk away from criminal charges unscathed. Gotti's upbringing was steeped in the rough and tumble world of organized crime. His father, John Sr., was a low-level mobster who ran a small crew in the Bronx. Growing up, Gotti was immersed in the world of the Mafia, learning the ins and outs of the criminal underworld from an early age. Number 2. Gotti was the boss of the Gambino crime family in New York City from 1985 to 1990. The Gambino crime family was one of the most powerful and influential criminal organizations in New York City, and John Gotti was its boss for 5 tumultuous years in the late 1980s and early 1990s. As the head of the Gambino family, Gotti was responsible for overseeing a vast criminal empire that spanned across multiple industries, including construction, gambling, and labor unions. But Gotti's reign as boss of the Gambino family was not without its challenges. He faced numerous threats from rival factions within the Mafia, and he was also the subject of intense scrutiny from law enforcement agencies. Despite these challenges, Gotti managed to maintain his grip on power for years, earning a reputation as a ruthless and cunning leader who was not to be underestimated. Number 3. Gotti was known for his flamboyant style and love of the spotlight. John Gotti was more than just a mob boss. He was a larger-than-life personality who loved the spotlight and relished in the attention that came with the position of power. One of the most striking things about Gotti was his flamboyant style. He was known for his impeccable taste in clothing and often appeared in public wearing expensive suits, silk ties, and gold jewelry. He was a sharp dresser who never shied away from making a statement, and his flashy wardrobe was just one way that he distinguished himself from his peers in the criminal underworld. Number 4. Gotti rose to power after killing the Gambino family's previous boss in 1985. John Gotti's rise to power in the Gambino crime family was marked by violence and ruthlessness, culminating in one of the most notorious hits in mob history. Gotti worked his way up the ranks, aligning himself with the family's underboss, Anilo Neil Della Croce, and cultivating relationships with other key players in the Mafia world. In 1985, Gotti and his associates orchestrated the assassination of Paul Castellano, the Gambino family boss, in a brazen hit that shocked the criminal underworld. This bold move solidified Gotti's power and marked a turning point in the history of organized crime. Number 5. Gotti was only convicted once and sentenced to life in prison without parole. John Gotti's life was marked by many legal troubles, but he was only convicted once in 1992 for racketeering, conspiracy, and murder, resulting in a life sentence without parole. Despite his conviction, Gotti was admired for his ability to evade the law and maintain power in the criminal underworld. His charismatic personality and notorious legacy continue to fascinate Americans today. If you're enjoying the video so far, please leave a like and subscribe to Oasisify. Number 6. Gotti died in 2002 from throat cancer while in prison. Despite his life sentence without parole, John Gotti's time in prison was cut short by his battle with throat cancer. He passed away on June 10, 2002 while in the custody of the United States Medical Center for Federal Prisoners in Springfield, Missouri. Gotti's death marked the end of a notorious criminal career that had both captivated and terrorized the public for decades. Number 7. Gotti was married to Victoria DiGiorgio and had 5 children. John Gotti's personal life was marked by his marriage to Victoria DiGiorgio, and with whom he had 5 children. Despite his criminal activities, Gotti was known to be a loving and devoted family man, and his children and wife remained fiercely loyal to him throughout his legal battles and imprisonment. In the years since his death, his family has continued to maintain his legacy both as a notorious mobster and as a beloved husband and father. Number 8. Gotti's son, Jr., followed in his father's footsteps and was also indicted numerous times. John Gotti's son, John A. Gotti, also known as Jr., was heavily influenced by his father's involvement in the Mafia and followed in his footsteps to become a member of the Gambino crime family. Like his father, Jr. was also indicted numerous times on various charges, including racketeering and murder. However, he was never convicted of any major crimes and ultimately walked free. Despite his own involvement in organized crime, Jr. has spoken publicly out against the use of violence and has urged members of the Mafia to find a more peaceful way of life. Number 9. Gotti was the subject of numerous books, movies, and TV shows. John Gotti's notorious life and career have been the subject of countless books, movies, and TV shows. Some of the most popular include the HBO movie Gotti, starring Armand Assante, which aired in 1996 and chronicled the rise and fall of the Teflon Don. Other films include Gotti in the Shadow of My Father, a biopic starring John Travolta, and Witness to the Mob, a made-for-TV movie based on the testimony of former Gambino family member Salvatore "Sammy the Bull" Gravano. Gotti has also been portrayed in various documentaries, including the Gambino crime family and The Godfather legacy. Despite his criminal activities, Gotti remains a compelling and controversial figure in pop culture. Number 10. Despite his criminal past, Gotti was considered by some to be a folk hero.
He was rigged, right? He was rigged!
The government may consider Gotti a dangerous mobster, but to people from his neighborhood, he is a hero.
As a hostage,
and those juries were biased.
John Gotti's legacy remains controversial, as some view him as a ruthless killer, while others admire him for his charisma and perceived loyalty to his community. His funeral procession drew a large crowd, with some seeing him as a folk hero who stood up against authority and provided for his community.
Several hundred of them stormed the Brooklyn courthouse where the convicted crime boss had just been sentenced.
However, others criticized the spectacle and praised law enforcement for bringing Gotti to justice. Regardless of one's perspective, Gotti's impact on organized crime and pop culture is undeniable. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and times of John Gotti, also known as the Teflon Don. While he was a controversial figure, there's no denying that Gotti's story is one of power, influence, and ultimately downfall. His life serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of pursuing a life of crime and the consequences that can come with it. We hope you found this video informative and engaging. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching.